I am from Colorado. It's a small state in America. And I have a family of 2 brothers and 1 sister. My mom and dad are both deaf. I didn't really learn a lot about Taiwan until I started working at a Chinese restaurant after I graduated from college. I worked at that restaurant for a couple years, and after a certain amount of time, I felt like I really wanted to explore. And so I actually checked out some websites, and I applied online and found a job through HES. And that's when I decided to come to Taiwan to teach English.
来自美国的 Sara 有着与一般人不同的际遇。她从小由听障的父母抚养长大，来到台湾后，也嫁给听障的台湾男孩俊松。
So we need some lettuce. We need some lettuce. Maybe over there. Yeah, it's over there. Okay. This is fine. We need cheese, right? Cheese for the taco. We need cheese. Search over there. So put it there. My sign language in my family was always the worst. Like for me, yeah, in my family, I was always the worst signer. I think that there was definitely a moment when I was younger. I found it harder to express myself in ASL. We're shopping for food. We're going to have a family dinner. It's the Moon Festival, so we're going to have a big family get together, and we're going to make some dishes. Some of them are going to be more Western style, and some of them will be Taiwanese style. I had stayed in Taiwan for 1 year, and after the year was up, I went back to the States to visit my family. I had decided that staying in Taiwan for 1 year wasn't enough, and so I thought I'm going to take a month off to see my family, then go back. And when I was back in the States, I found out that the one thing I really enjoyed was being able to sign with my mom and dad. Like a lot of the things there about America, I didn't really care about anymore. I did really find myself appreciating any kind of time I had with family and being able to learn to communicate with my mom and dad. And I remember in the month I had at home, I tried very hard to learn some sign language, to try to pick it up, to get better at it. So when I came back to Taiwan, I checked the internet and I actually found an American Sign Language class. My friend took me to the Taipei Association of the Deaf. It's where King works. And they got me enrolled in the class. And that's where I met him. I met him through that class.
这天是中秋节，陈家的大哥和小姑都回到家中祭祖。
我们家我父母从小眼睛就看不到，那在4岁的时候，我爸本来是眼睛看得到，那4岁以后才失明。其实因为我爸不方便带我们，所以都是给我姑姑带。俊松比较特别，因为俊松来台北，生出来的时候跟我相差7岁，所以说他后来就是给我们的外婆带。那外婆带的时候，因为那时候科技比较不发达，那我们也忽略到，我父母也忽略到说，他的可能听力上有点障碍，所以也没有是特别的去注意他。等到说，奇怪，到了小学1年级的时候，怎么都还不太会讲话，所以才发现说他是不是有问题，那才送去医院检查，才判定说他有重听。那实际上语言学习障碍已经造成了，所以后来就为了还是要让他有点教育，所以我们把他送到启聪学校去。刚开始来台北跟我们一起住的时候，我们也不太了解俊松的个性跟习性。其实我们也不是很了解他内心的想法是什么，所以沟通上会有点障碍。
双眼全盲的父母遇到只能以手语沟通的听障儿，各种辛苦外人难以想象。
他跟我父母的沟通，其实就是透过我来沟通嘛，所以我就必须要想一个方式，我们相互可以沟通方式。 所以我们就发展出一些家庭手语，不是非常正式的手语，但是我们看得懂，相互看得懂。
I wasn't really formally introduced to his family until until our first Chinese New Year dinner together. I remember the first time I saw his mom was when we were even dating. Like we were sitting down and watching a movie together, and I remember the door opening and his mom walking in, and I looked at him and said, "Should I say something?" And he said, "You don't have to say anything." My first exposure to the family was just, you don't have to say hello. You don't have to put yourself out there and ask how they're doing. And so that set kind of a precedent for the relationship that I have with his parents. This took me a very long time to get used to. We don't have this kind of can opener in America. Ours looks way different. And when I first started living with King, I had no idea how to use it, and he had to open all the cans for me. I figured it out eventually.
即便是简单的开罐器，也让 Sara 适应了好久，更何况是一个沟通模式异于常人的家庭。
三个要怎样？哎，我的手表了。那我的位置。
啊。这是我食，这墨西哥饼啊，食看嘛，顶下有食过。
哦，迄两包矮啊。
系啊系啊。
迄用酒落摕。
系啊，用这个来，你小试一下。安尼吼，来，这等我摕咧。
安尼我知啦，这拉做啊。
系啊。
安尼这支啊，这支啊。
诶，赞哦。惊讲落出来啊，安尼啦，安尼摕较好食。
Well, can you tell her?
啊，给他吃。
I think that there is a part of it that does make me that did make me feel very awkward, and it still does to some degree. Like I still wish that there are times where I'd be able to communicate with them, but I don't know how exactly to change that. I mean, there have been a couple times in the past where I did try, like to see if they wanted something, but they didn't seem to understand me and just didn't reply. I do find it awkward, but I accept it for how it is, and I don't feel upset about it. It's all right.
其实我们并没有要求他当台湾媳妇，我只是觉得他一个人大老远从美国嫁来这里，其实他也蛮辛苦的。对他来讲，我们只是想说他能够生活的快乐就好，所以我们并没有非常的要求他说必须要做的像台湾媳妇一样。毕竟真的是台湾人做台湾媳妇都不一定做得好的，为什么要求别人一个完全不是台湾人或中国人的那种观念的媳妇来做台湾人？
My grandma is here too, so. Maybe talk. Grandma? Grandma? Can Grandma hear me? No? I never use my microphone when I talk to her.
Right.
Can Grandma hear King?
Right.
The insurance paid about $4,500. So Grandma just had to pay $500. That's all. Oh, huh? Oh, for down payment. Down payment? That's the sign? Down payment? My grandma in California. My dad's mom. Yeah. Yeah, you met her before. My grandma, like my father's side. I've heard a bit about the flood. Yeah, yeah. I know that Rachel said that her basement started to flood. She says, 她的爸爸是爸，一样的名字 ，same 一样的。Yeah, yeah.
对于夫家特殊的沟通模式，尽管 Sara 仍不适应，但在大哥和俊松的协助下，她也慢慢的融入新家庭了。
Family, he's explaining the family. Yeah.
应该拍到了。
We're practicing American Sign Language right now. I think a lot of the deaf people here, they'd like to practice some ASL, so if they ever go to the States and they meet some deaf people over there, they can talk to them. What? Singapore? Singapore. Singapore. I don't know Singapore. That's their sign. ASL Singapore. I didn't know that. Afghanistan.
夫妻俩平日都用美国手语沟通，为了精进美国手语能力，俊松每个月都与 Sara 参加美国手语俱乐部的聚会。
就好比说台湾我们听人一样啊，如果说学英文的话，你可以跟外国人沟通啊，像美国人啊，英文的话可以跟美国人沟通。那我们台湾的美国手语也是跟美国人聋人也可以沟通啊，就同样道理。希望给这个有另外一个机会，还有另外一个国际手语跟美国手语有点类似，我们也可以学习多一点语言，可以跟外国朋友沟通。
Oh, are you enjoying class? Right. Yes, he's having fun. He likes being able to hang out with people and practice his ASL. He's saying he wants to learn from him and not from me. Why? Is it because he's deaf? He stayed in America and his ASL is better. My mom and dad are deaf, and I chat with my mom and dad once a week.
聚会的最后，大家玩起综艺节目中比手画脚的游戏，一方面再次练习美国手语，也借此培养感情。平日安静的 Sara 也不时的开怀大笑。
准备了，9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2。
观众朋友，你们好，我是小苏，我是俊松，欢迎收看《听听看》。
我们从那个民国84年试播以来，到现在已经播出18年了。然后呢，我们一开始主要是为了服务听障朋友。一般的电视的就是文字的文法跟手语的文法其实是不一样的，所以我们算是第一个以手语为主要播出语言的那个电视节目。
今年俊松加入公视听听看节目担任主持工作，这也让家里的经济有了些许改善。
因为刚好民国97年的时候，我们就是有对外开放，就是甄选主持人。俊松比较年轻，我觉得他是比较开放，而且他就是接受度会是比较大的，而且他的反应蛮快的。
有加入那个聋人相关的团体，然后也有聋剧团有加入表演，所以对表演方面还算熟悉。那加入听听看，我觉得应该没问题，对啊，因为我以前有加入聋剧团的经验。这样子，然后慢慢的加入听看之后，又可以再增加表演的经验，对我也有比较帮助。我觉得俊松真的很适合表演，为什么？因为他从小到大，他爸妈也是看不太清，他爸妈看不太清楚，但是他手语都很自然，跟就一般聋人使用的手语一样，那跟表情也很生动。那如果没有 带来没有进到电视圈这里的话，我觉得真的很浪费。那我觉得能把他带进来做主持的话，真是对了。我认识剧中10多年了，那我印象最深是什么？他真的是很爱，就是很喜欢逗女生，就很风趣。然后那个女朋友就是一个换过一个这样子，我就觉得他实在是很厉害的。之后遇到 Sara 之后，他们在谈恋爱，我们说真的，我们这些人就觉得不看好。因为觉得实在太多了，很多这种状况，尤其又是国外跟台湾这样子，你沟通怎么办？剧中又不懂英文，然后Sara 的台湾手又不好，应该会常常鸡同鸭讲不好，所以其实一开始不看好，就没想到剧中反而付出很多，很认真，然后再去努力的学，然后去配合 Sara， 然后去跟 Sara 这样相处，这样他们如果有什么争吵的话，也会慢慢的去解决，这样慢慢就真的沟通就变得很顺畅。那 Sara 他第一次碰到的时候，给我印象是，我觉得他心地很善良，感觉心很好的很善良的一个人。那因为他爸妈也是聋人，所以他们对聋人，Sara 对聋人的习惯其实还蛮熟悉的，他知道聋人状，所以他看台湾聋人也不会像听人一般就会觉得说，比较有防备感，不会，反而很热心、很热忱，然后愿意帮助人。那我就觉得他真的心地真的很善良，很愿意付出，然后也很愿意热心教手语啊，跟人家或是自己去学台湾手语这样，然后互相跟大家互相交流。那我觉得这个人真的很不错，剧中娶到他真是娶对了。
I am preparing for class. We're going to do some color games. And I have to make sure I have at least one ball for each kid. We'll have 9 kids in class. 6. Looking for more blue. It's a cute little one. 8.
为了服务听损儿童 ，Sara 辞去了补习班的教职工作，加入妇联听障文教基金会，教导听损的孩子说英文。
Today we're going to be learning about weather along with days of the week and also emotions. And after we cover, we'll also have some songs. I do sing with them, and we have a CD. My co-teacher helped me slow down the music. I made a CD before, but the tempo was way too fast. They couldn't follow along. So we'll do this and sing some songs, and then we'll start to learn the colors.
妇联听障文教基金会在85年就开始投入了听损儿童的疗愈课程的服务。那在当时一个科技辅具不像现在发展的这么好的一个年代里面呢，我们其实当时用的就是口语的教学。中心疗愈的课的小朋友来讲，他们的年龄基本上都很小。对，所以他们其实能够借由听觉辅具的一个帮助之下，再加上我们的专业的一个辅导，他们其实都能够用口语的方式来跟大家做很多的沟通跟互动。
Hi Jay, your chair is right here.
在开始开办这个课程之前，好，那我只能够感觉到说 ，Sara 老师他其实非常紧张的。好，虽然说他自己本身在英语的教学上面来讲，他很有经验，但是面对一群的听损儿童的英文学习这件事情上面来讲，他是希望把这件事情做好，所以他其实也会相对非常紧张。那他会问我们很多相关的问题。那前后在课程开办之前，他也来了我们中心2次到3次，看孩子实际的状况，然后跟我们讨论孩子的需求。
Hello, good afternoon. You say, good afternoon, teacher Sara. Hi, Terry. So, let's see. We will go over days.
在课程开办的这一段过程当中呢，我其实从 Sara 老师的眼神当中，我觉得是不太一样的，在眼神上面来讲是不太一样的。就是说我开始觉得说，他其实对这群孩子的一些想象，或者是说他觉得他自己可以真切去投入的部分来讲的内容跟想法上面来讲，我觉得是不一样的。
any hearing child can go to any English school in Taiwan and learn English, but hard of hearing kids don't get that kind of opportunity. There just is no opportunity present. And so I thought that it would be kind of neat to be able to do that for them. You know, to be able to get involved and give them exposure to a different language and to someone from a different culture. Rainy, tired.
他的进步超级多的，应该这么说，他的每一堂课，就像我刚才说，在上课之前，他花了1个小时来到这边准备教材。上完课的时候，他就会大概我们有时候会花半个小时到1个小时去沟通今天上课的情况跟每个孩子上课的状况。
To red and to green.
我觉得要教听损的小孩呢，听损小孩的老师需要非常大的耐性。然后我觉得 Sara 老师他对这些听损的孩子真的很有耐性，因为听损的孩子他有时候他会因为听不太清楚就不想听，然后就没有耐性，然后就坐不住。但是我觉得 Sara 老师他从头到尾都很有耐心的教这些孩子。
Language is a tool, and I think that for deaf and hard of hearing children, giving them as many tools as possible is the best thing you can do.
晚上下了课 ，Sara 匆匆赶到泸州与俊松会合。原来今天是听障朋友的中秋聚会。
配合中秋节啦，想说要请朋友来一起来同乐，大家快快乐乐。莎拉也一起加入我们的，了解我们聋人的文化，希望让他也可以慢慢跟他们都互动，互通有无，互相了解彼此。
The one thing I really missed about America was my family. So when I came back to Taiwan, I really wanted to try to improve my sign language. And I found the course and I met him. And I just find that when I'm around deaf people, I feel like I'm at home. I think that's one reason why I enjoy being around them is because I feel like they fulfill a part of me that I can't get anywhere else.
初到台湾的 Sara 曾因找不到归属感而郁郁寡欢，如今在俊松和听障朋友的呵护下，终于感受到家的温暖。
I feel like I'm accepted and that I'm not a foreigner, and I like that feeling.
，Yeah. So those two things I understood